thrived in the chaos. He thrived under the pressure of the defensive line. He thrived when his wide receivers couldn't create separation because he was like, all right, if y'all don't want to do it, watch me. And I think what we forget about Caleb Williams is he's been this since the very first time we saw him.
When I turn on the tape with Caleb, I just feel like he's just smooth. Like, sometimes I feel like he's a little bit bored out there. He won't throw some things in rhythm sometimes. He'll just dance around the pocket, create a play, throw a strike down the field. It's honestly fun to watch. Of all these guys, his ability to extend the play and be accurate off platform, going to his left, going to his right, throwing on the right. His ability to extend the play, especially in the red zone, is what jumps out to me.
Yeah, Caleb is an interesting guy. He by far is the most talented I've seen at the quarterback position come out in many, many years as far as his ability to torque the ball and throw it from different arm angles, quick release. I mean, pop, bang.
As the NFL preseason rolls around, is there any rookie who is as eagerly anticipated as Caleb Williams? The former Oklahoma and USC superstar went #1 overall after a college career that was jam-packed full of jaw-dropping highlights. There are shades of Patrick Mahomes to his game, and his arrival in one of the best offensive rosters in the NFL should be a great cause of concern for opposing teams. This is why the NFL is terrified of Caleb Williams. Caleb's spectacular college career began at Oklahoma, a destination he chose because of their head coach Lincoln Riley. Riley had earned a reputation of being a quarterback whisperer, already helping Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray to Heisman Trophy success, and as a top quarterback in his class, Williams fancied a bit of that. Despite his reputation, there would be no easy route for Caleb. Spencer Rattler was the starter for Oklahoma at the time and had also been the #1 quarterback in his class, which meant life in the college game would start on the bench. He didn't have to wait long though. The Texas Longhorns came to town in the 6th week of the season to give the Sooners their first proper test. At first, Oklahoma failed miserably. After one quarter, the Longhorns were up by 28 points to 7. It was time for the Sooners to try something else. Facing 4th and 1 on the first play of the second quarter, Oklahoma sent out their true freshman, Caleb Williams, in the hope that he could barrel over some Texas defenders and pick up the first down. He did just that. Except he didn't stop after the first down line. Instead, he rumbled the full 66 yards to the end zone, converting a lost cause into 7 points. Sooners fans could not believe what they were seeing. The expectations were high for Williams, but nobody expected to see him dancing around the pocket, buying time, and delivering strikes downfield in his true freshman season, let alone in a comeback victory over a rival. Having somehow lifted the Sooners to a 55-48 win, it was Williams' team now. Rattler was sent to the bench, and Williams continued to impress. He only played properly in 8 games during that true freshman season, but he made the most of it, passing for 1,670 yards, 18 touchdowns, and just 4 interceptions, whilst also rushing for 408 yards and 6 touchdowns on the ground. He led the team to a 5-2 record to close out the regular season before throwing 3 touchdowns to defeat Oregon in the Valero Alamo Bowl game. Unfortunately for Sooners fans who thought all their Christmases had come at once, Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams stunned the college football world and broke Oklahoma's hearts. Riley was heading to USC to take the vacant head coaching spot, and the Wonder Kid quarterback was going with him. It was undoubtedly a tough decision to make, but Williams put a lot of thought into his career choices and felt this was the best option for his Heisman Trophy chances. You see, Williams was executing a well-thought-out blueprint to make him the #1 quarterback in the world. As a child, he had expressed this desire to his father, who devised a plan to make it happen. He received bespoke training that got him up at the break of dawn, slept in a carefully controlled room of 68 degrees to help him recover, and monitored everything he ate. He had specifically chosen Lincoln Riley as a part of his career plan. Therefore, when Riley hit the road, Williams' plan told him to go with him. That plan was to be the best quarterback in the world, and so far, it's going pretty well. The move to USC was instantly vindicated, with Caleb posting a healthy 4,537 yards and 42 touchdowns with just 5 interceptions. Everything he teased at Oklahoma showed up in California, as Williams quickly became the biggest name in the college game. He was dazzling week in and week out, launching outrageous passes from the unlikeliest of angles. Say it quietly, but the name Patrick Mahomes came to mind. He even displayed quality as a rusher, collecting a further 382 yards and 10 touchdowns on the ground, giving defenses enough dual threat ability to keep them honest. In reality, the defense didn't have a clue. The creativity and skill were off the charts, and the result was a Heisman Trophy. Williams had smashed single-season records for passing yards with 4,537, as well as passing touchdowns with 42, and total touchdowns with 52. His nickname is Superman, by the way. You probably get why. Unfortunately, a lack of a defense and a poor offensive line prevented any admission to the playoffs, and when those two units declined further in 2023, Williams' performance was dragged down as well. It was a weaker 2023 campaign statistically, but he still managed to churn out 3,633 yards and 30 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions, along with 136 yards and 11 touchdowns as a rusher. It was a frustrating year that was more remembered for the scenes of Williams crying after a heartbreaking loss on the sidelines, but there was still little doubt that he was the number 1 overall pick.
I felt was special. It was always going to be Caleb Williams. It was always going to be Caleb Williams. It was always going to be Caleb Williams.
In fact, he was more than that. Williams was the best quarterback prospect we had seen in over a decade. The arm talent and playmaking ability are off the charts, with Williams launching passes to the furthest pockets of the field or slotting sidearm bullets into the tightest of windows.
And when you think about the level of arm talent that Caleb Williams has, I want you to think of Josh Allen. I want you to think of Patrick Mahomes. He can make any throw from any platform, from anywhere on the field.
Throwing on the move was barely a hindrance, and his scrambling ability is certainly something that defenses have to account for. He's instinctive in the pocket, and the tears on the sideline show how much he cares. He has serious talent, and the Bears have set him up to maximize every last drop of it. They have learned from the mistake of Justin Fields, who had an embarrassing collection of playmakers to work with. Yes, there are definitely some question marks surrounding the offensive line, but to counteract that, Williams will benefit from an embarrassment of riches. Firstly, one of the names to have played in Chicago last year, DJ Moore. After a good start to his career in Carolina, Moore took things to the next level in his first year as a Chicago Bear. Despite questionable quarterback play from Justin Fields, Moore racked up 1,364 yards and 8 touchdowns, dominating on short passes as well as downfield. Moore is a strong and fast receiver who can make things happen when you put the ball in his hands, which makes him the perfect complement to his 2 new colleagues in the Bears wide receiver room. Firstly, you have Keenan Allen, one of the league's best route runners over the last 5 years. Allen is as reliable a target as they come, which is ideal for Caleb Williams as he adjusts to life in the NFL. If you need someone to get open, that's Allen, and his big frame gives him a very inviting catch radius for the quarterback. You could expect Allen to gobble up short and intermediate targets in Chicago. His route running craft still gives him an edge over most cornerbacks, but at 32 years old, his declining physical attributes mean he is less effective at separating downfield. Not to worry though. That's why he will work so well alongside the speedy DJ Moore and the other new addition, rookie Rome Odunze. Odunze was unfortunate to have come out in a wide receiver draft class that also featured Marvin Harrison Jr. and Malik Neighbors. Otherwise, he would have been the clear-cut number 1 option. He's a complete package as an X-receiver, offering prototypical size that gives him elite contested catch abilities. He was a force to be reckoned with in Washington, posting 1,145 yards and 7 touchdowns in 2022, before improving to 1,640 yards and 13 touchdowns in 2023, when he helped the Huskies reach the national championship game. He can run routes, fight off man coverage, win downfield, and catch everything. He is a sensational wide receiver prospect and the perfect companion for Caleb Williams over the next 5 years. His profile is similar enough to Keenan Allen that the pairing with him is also a stroke of genius. Allen can mentor Odunze to get him up to speed with the nuances of the position in the NFL, ensuring that Williams has studs to aim at now and long into the future. Cole Kmet at tight end is coming off a career year with 719 yards and 6 touchdowns, and he's going to be backed up by Gerald Everett, a very useful veteran who has had success with the Rams, Seahawks, and Chargers. There is a lot of production in that tight end room, but the running back stable is even better. DeAndre Swift is the headline name, fresh off a career year in Philadelphia. His 1,049 yards almost doubled his previous best, and an average receiving total of 350 yards shows his versatility as an all-around playmaker. He will be a very useful asset for Caleb Williams in both the run and passing game, and when he needs a rest, there are 2 more talented backs waiting in the wings. Khalil Herbert is probably a better pure runner than Swift, but injuries have frustrated his career so far. Still, Herbert produced 731 yards at 5.7 yards per carry in 2022, and followed that up with a 611-yard effort at 4.6 yards per carry in fewer games in 2023. He has a very good skill set to pair up with the versatility of Swift, and you shouldn't be surprised to see both guys on the field at the same time this year. Roschon Johnson is the other notable name in the stable, entering his sophomore season after a muted start to his career. Johnson is another back who will be useful in both the pass and the run game, offering good depth at the position, and potentially more if he can produce a second-year breakout. The man tasked with coordinating this talented group of playmakers is Shane Waldron, another fantastic asset for Caleb Williams. Waldron's most recent achievement is reviving what appeared to be the lost career of Geno Smith as Seattle's offensive coordinator. After 8 years of almost forgotten quarterback play, Waldron got his hands on Smith and helped him churn out a 4,282-yard, 30-touchdown season with just 11 interceptions. His 69.8% completion rate led the NFL and was enough to win him the Comeback Player of the Year award, as well as the first of 2 consecutive Pro Bowls. Smith led the Seahawks to the playoffs in his first season in charge and displayed arm talent that many were not aware he had. His deep ball accuracy was among the best in the NFL, which is something that the Bears would love to see from Williams early and often. Shane Waldron got the best out of Geno, and if he can do the same with the supremely talented Caleb Williams, the sky is surely the limit. Between Shane Waldron's leadership and the outrageous collection of talent on the field, both young and old, the Chicago Bears are set up beautifully for the arrival of their savior, Caleb Williams. The Bears front office has produced an environment where Caleb can win early, whilst also laying the foundations for prolonged success. We have just seen CJ Stroud blow Houston's Super Bowl window wide open. Now it's Caleb Williams' turn in Chicago. Do you think Caleb can propel the Chicago team to the playoffs as a rookie? Let me know in the comments.